everyone, welcome to my kitchen. As you know, my name is Renee. Today I will be making oxtails. Oxtails is a family favorite. It's fall time where I live right now and we love comfort food. We don't eat a lot of oxtails anymore. I may make it once or twice during the season. So today is the day for me making the oxtails. How this came about, this recipe came about, I lived in Connecticut, grew up on oxtails. There was a lot of Jamaican bakeries in my area. I moved to Ohio and I couldn't find my favorite. So I'm a recipe girl. So I'm going to show you my recipe books. But I start off with a recipe. This recipe was inspired by Sunny Anderson from the Food Network. So thank you, Sunny, for this recipe. But it's going to be modified because I don't have everything that's in Sunny's recipe. So let's get started. Here are my oxtails. Now if you notice, this meat is very tough, so it takes a long time. You just got to let it simmer for hours. You can put it in a crock pot, but I'm using a Dutch oven today. I try to buy it without a lot of fat on it. This fat I try to cut off, but it's kind of hard. But as the meat gets tender, then I can go in and cut off the excess fat, because you can modify your family favorites and keep it the calories low. We don't eat a lot of meat anymore, but this is a family favorite, so I will make it at least one time during the fall season. Here's my oxtails. The recipe calls for one big onion. Sunny uses a Vandalia, but I don't have it, so don't be afraid to modify your recipes. I have here my seasoning. I have kosher salt, thyme, garlic. Definitely use fresh garlic if you have it. I just didn't have it in the house. So I buy this freeze-dried garlic. That way I have it on hand when I need it. Red pepper flakes, 2 bay leaves, and this is paprika. So I just, throw that in. You can mix your... What you can do is season your meat the night before. Just put everything in a pot. This is a one-pot deal. Just sprinkle your seasoning on your meat. And don't worry, you may have to come in and, after it's done and see if you need anything extra. But pretty much just season it well. I put in a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. When all these seasonings and meld together, it is a delicious pot of oxtails. I didn't start cooking. I'm 50 now, but I didn't start cooking until, I don't know. I've always cooked, but it wasn't down home cooking. It was fast, like macaroni in a box type cooking, because my mother wasn't a cook. Now my dad was. He's from South Carolina, so we never knew what was in the pot when we came home. This is a gravy master. You want to put a couple of tablespoons of that in. This is going to make it a rich dark brown. As you can see, I have just enough for this pot. And you want to put in hot sauce, and you can put it to taste. I always follow the recipe, and then afterwards just do it to taste. And I don't like spicy hot food, but trust me, the red hot peppers and the hot sauce, it just adds flavor. It doesn't make it hot. It does give it a little kick though. And that's it for now. Oh, that's not it. I put in a whole box of beef broth. Let's see. And I just cover. And see, if you make this the night before, just as you saw me put everything in the pot, just like this, you do the exact same. When you wake up, your oxtails would have sat in the seasoning overnight, which is a beautiful thing. So I use a whole box of the beef stock. If you only have beef broth, don't worry about it. Use it. And I just mix everything in. As you can see, my liquid is covering my meat. Now I'm going to cook mine on top of the stove, but you can also put this right in the oven. The whole pot and all. That's what I love about the Dutch oven. And just stir it up. Try not to splash it all over the place like I'm doing right now. And seal it with the lid. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to get it boiling for a little bit. So I'm going to turn it on like a medium high for right now. Just to get the pot moving. And then I'm going to turn it down because I'm going to church. When I get back, it's not going to be done. But it does take at least 3 hours to cook. I don't like meat that I have to fight with. Pull and tug to eat. When this pot gets done, and I'll bring you back in later so you can see how it looks, because we're going to have to skim off some of the fat off the top. You want to skim that off. And then we'll make some jasmine rice, and I'll also put some butter beans in there. Now the butter beans, you can use dry. If you're going to use dry, then I would have soaked it all night, put my beans right in the pot, in the refrigerator, taking everything out and just put it on. But I'm going to do a shortcut. And I don't put my butter beans in until about when the meat is done. So I don't cook my beans all day because I like to have a bean. Those beans will cook down. So I put it in, that's the last thing I put in the pot is the beans. And then I'll make some jasmine rice. And when these finish cooking, they're going to melt right off the bone. So you're not going to be pulling and tugging. Nothing like tough oxtails. But these will be delicious. I'm going to say ciao for now. I'll see you later when they start cooking. As you can see, the meat is bubbling, boiling. You want to make sure that there's enough liquid in there. So you want to definitely, because that liquid will cook out and real fast. So you want to make sure that there's plenty of liquid. That'll assure that you'll get some nice tender oxtails. Hi everyone, I'm back from church, and this is what the oxtails are looking like. You see it creates its own gravy. See how brown and luscious that looks? See how it's falling off the bone? Now I just go in with my spoon and take as much oil as I can out of the pot, because you don't want that to get in your system. And my rice is done. There's my jasmine rice. Now at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and add my beans. Here's my beans rinsed. And I just go ahead and put them in. And my pot is ready for eating. Now I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer for a little bit more. But I'm going to still go in here and take some more oil off. But I wanted to show you that piece of it. And that there, my friends, is my oxtails.